back from intermission, and it is now time for a first-time ever dream match. I'm looking forward to this one. We have the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, in there against Alex Shelley. Bryan Danielson, he's still owed a world title shot, and he needs a win here to get some momentum going into that. Not only that, if Alex Shelley is able to defeat Bryan Danielson, Alex Shelley could very well be in line to get that world title shot. Danielson looking for a handshake, but of course Generation Next not following the code of honor, not showing respect to their opponents, and not shaking hands. It's not a requirement anymore with the code of honor. It's all about respect, all about what kind of character you have, and Alex Shelley just showed what kind of person he is.
Alex Shelley's got no character. You know, there's some guys that won't shake your hand and try to get into your head. It's all a mind game, but for Generation Next, it's just all about being disrespectful. You know, they're the reason Cabana's on the shelf right now, and I'm going to take a lot of pleasure in watching Dragon kick this kid's ass.
I'm sure you took a lot of pleasure earlier when Steve Corino surprised us all with his return. A great plan there, CM Punk. I'll give you credit where it's due.
It's no surprise to me. You know, I knew I had to come with it. Whoa, did you see that slap? See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You got little Alex Shelley here, whose eyes are so close together, he looks like some kind of a cyclops, and he slaps American Dragon, who some think is the best wrestler in the world. Refuses to shake his hand and then slaps him.
Well, you know, Shelley's not going to take that, as does this crowd as you hear that chant.
My sentiments exactly.
Alex Shelley, you did see him grabbing the arm on the way in, and that's because really in an asinine move, when after he ran from the ring after the Foley attack, he accidentally banged his arm on the entranceway on his way to the back. So he tweaked a little injury there, and he has it going into this match.
Not something you want to do walking into a ring with Bryan Danielson.
Definitely a stupid move on Shelley's part.
You got a finger lacing to test of strength with Dragon trying to force Shelley's arms and shoulders to the mat. Nice escape by Shelley.
We are seeing some beautiful, pure wrestling right here. Quite the opposite of what Mick Foley said. That's about bridge there, Danielson. And there's payback for the earlier slap. But Mick Foley dubbing ROH to mean Ring of Hardcore. He's calling it Ring of Hardcore after some of the action he saw, like the steel cage match between Samoa Joe and Jay Briscoe during At Our Best. Like the Chicago street fight you were in, CM Punk.
Hardcore is a harsh word. This is Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor is about wrestling. It's about hard work. It's about wrestling. I don't mean to sound repetitive. It's certainly nothing to do with hardcore. Yeah, there's been some times and there's been some feuds settled where there's blood been shed, chairs have been swung, and some barbed wires come into play. But I'm sure Foley's watching all the wrong tapes and he thinks this is hardcore. It certainly is not hardcore. This is wrestling. It's Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor is known for its wrestling, and Foley putting over the hardcore side of things. And there have been a lot of great, intense hardcore battles in ROH, and that's what happens when hatred really explodes. It's not just done for the sake of violence. It's done when the hatred escalates, and that's what Foley was mentioning right there, calling it Ring of Hardcore. Very interesting words from Mick Foley, and he is signed for future ROH dates, so that'll definitely be something to keep an eye on.
He's going on a date, or like future ROH shows?
It'll be on future ROH shows.
Alex Shelley now staying on the arm of Bryan Danielson. Nice hammerlock applied. Grounded Danielson earlier with it. Danielson escapes again.
And you're being really professional, CM Punk. I know that you have to have some harsh feelings towards Alex Shelley after the attack in Chicago, after the injuries to Colt Cabana and the attacks in Boston just a few weeks ago at Scramble Cage Melee. That issue between the Second City Saints and Generation Next really taken off. And I guess that's why we have your friend, I guess you could call him your friend, Steve Corino back.
You know, I think Alex Shelley's got a man crush on me. He tries to one-up me in Chicago. He tries to run in. He tries to jump me. All this stuff. But I've always been one step ahead of him and his little group of goons. You know, me and Ace Steel and Colt Cabana, you know, we're from a tougher city than he is. I was trained by better people than he was trained by, you know, and if he wants to take my spot, it's going to take a lot more than just some fists and some boots to stop me. You know, I knew something was going to go down. I brought Steve Corino to watch my back.
Look at that submission right there. Alex Shelley, the only way out is to reach the ropes, and he does. And you know what? It's pretty interesting you brought Steve Corino back, because Glory by Honor last year saw you name Steve Corino as Raven's opponent, and Steve Corino paid you back with a slap there, and then you guys had that really intriguing and interesting game of one-upmanship at Empire State Showdown a month later, and now Steve Corino is back and he is in your corner.
That's right. He's going to stay in my corner.
You guys got a weird kind of relationship there. I can't really figure it out.
No, yeah, I explained it to him. I picked him to wrestle Raven, and he beat Raven. It was the first time he ever beat Raven, and it's exactly what he needed to do. You know, he's been toiling on the indies for so long. I decided, you know, he needed to wrestle Raven. He got his big win finally, and now look at him. Wrestles in Japan all the time. I explained that to him. He thanked me.
I didn't think Corino was coming back to ROH, and you were the one that brought him back, CM Punk. As there we see a beautiful bridge by Bryan Danielson into a pinning. No, Shelley turns it around.
Referee Paul Turner right there to call the action. I'm sure Bryan Danielson isn't going to submit. He's got too much pride. He's too tough. He's certainly not going to submit to a guy like Alex Shelley.
Well,
he'd just as soon pass out in pain before submitting.
Alex Shelley is a skilled competitor. You have to give him credit there. Even though Generation Next is targeting the Second City Saints spots as a top faction here in ROH. It does take a lot to put a man like Alex Shelley down.
It looks like he's been watching the playbook of Colt Cabana with the double knees in the corner and taking one from me with the drop kick off straight to the neck of Bryan Danielson. But that's okay, you know, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Looks like you're trying to get in the mind of Alex Shelley there. And Shelley now trying to bend Bryan Danielson backwards.
That's not that hard. Schoolboy attempt. Wow, early going for the Border City stretch. Both men early on. They're lucky this isn't a pure match. They'd be losing rope breaks.
Alex Shelley definitely trying to target the neck of Bryan Danielson. You normally see him go for the 40 city stretch later in matches. He's made several men tap to that, but perhaps he's going for the quick win, or perhaps he's just trying to soften him up. But that European uppercut will definitely soften you up, but Alex Shelley right back going after the leg.
Bring it on, Shelley.
Danielson dropped in a hurry after that leg pick. Wonder how damaged that leg is. Maybe Alex Shelley knows something we don't. It's severely doubtful that he knows anything that I don't, but it's, you know, maybe in this case when it comes to Bryan Danielson's health.
And Alex Shelley getting very aggressive on the floor.
Bringing it up close and personal to these great fans here in Elizabeth, New Jersey. But Alex Shelley can't pin American Dragon on the floor.
The last time in Elizabeth, Generation Next tried to lay out Ricky Steamboat, make their name at his expense, and you made the save for Steamboat, and that kicked everything off between Generation Next and the Second City Saints. But right now, Alex Shelley is trying to defeat Bryan Danielson, a man who wrestled for 75 minutes against Austin Aries. With moves like that, this match isn't going to go 75 minutes. Alex Shelley's going to score a victory. That arm's definitely bothering Alex Shelley, though.
Yeah, but Dragon's in La La Land.
And he can score a pin here. It only takes 3 seconds. No, Dragon gets the shoulders off. I thought Dragon was out.
I think Alex Shelley's giving up a little bit of a weight disadvantage here. I think Dragon might be taller than him as well. You don't really see that too often. But this whole Generation Next on the taking their spot thing is so lame and cliche. And they're picking fights with the wrong guys. They want to mess with the Saints. And next time we come to Chicago, we're going to show them exactly why we're the Second City Saints.
And they've also raised the ire of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, among others. Generation Next making a lot of enemies here in ROH. Bryan Danielson, he had those 2 classic matches against Alex Shelley's fellow Generation Next member Austin Aries. Now let's see if Alex Shelley can score a victory over Bryan Danielson, just like Austin Aries did in that 2 out of 3 fall legendary match at Testing the Limits.
And you really got to wonder if that's going through Alex Shelley's mind right now, is if he can stay and go the distance with Dragon just like Aries did.
It's also interesting to note that there's no members of Generation X at ringside here. We have seen it. Wow, there's a big slap. We have seen it where when Generation X are in main event type matches, they have nobody at ringside, but when they're in the undercard matches, you always have people at ringside. They're always playing a numbers game. Definitely a curious tactic there by Generation X, and hopefully we can get some answers as to why that is soon. Although, as evidence from your match earlier against Austin Aries, the Generation X guys are looking on from the curtain, ready to make an impact if they see an opportunity to do so.
Yeah, they like to play the numbers game. Right now, Dragon's playing a game of his own. It's called Rearrange Your Face.
Just look at that.
Stretching the neck and the back of Alex Shelley. I'm sure that's doing some damage to his shoulders as well.
And he's sitting right down on that spine, just bending the spine of Alex Shelley as well. Turns into a pinning combination with a bridge. Oh, Shelley somehow kicks out. And a move like that can definitely trap you for 3 seconds.
Especially with that bridge, it's all the leverage in the world. Dragon now setting up Alex Shelley for a surfboard attempt, perhaps. I've seen Dragon do this before.
Danielson, so methodical, taking his time, letting Alex Shelley think about it. And if he turns this over, Alex Shelley's going to be in a world of pain. Perfectly executed by Bryan Danielson, and Alex Shelley might have to tap.
The only way out of this is if he goes to Dragon's eyes. I've been in this before, and the only way I got out of it was going to the eyes. Oh, he somehow gets out of it.
Slipped out. It is a hot night here in the Rexplex. That sweat playing a factor. And now Danielson aggressively grabbing the arm of Alex Shelley and going right after it. That injured limb of Alex Shelley. You know what, if Alex Shelley just stayed in the locker room, wasn't worried about attacking Mick Foley, making his name at Mick Foley's expense, he would not have that injured arm right now.
It'll be interesting to see if that's a factor in this match now. Maybe it'll make him think twice about trying to run in and jump on a legend.
Generation Next, they're trying to make their names at everyone's expense, including Mick Foley, but Alex Shelley paid the price when he was running from the ring. Whoa! Danielson just, wow, what a vicious boot to the head.
Oh, he's just standing on the face of Alex Shelley. He's not going to get any prettier.
As I say, no, Alex Shelley fleeing from the ring, banging his arm on the way out. A pure accident, absolutely stupid injury right there.
Well, it's that stupid injury that could lead to the downfall of this match right here.
Now Bryan Danielson has the injured arm hooked, and he's stretching the other arm, and that's going to tweak both shoulders. And that, of course, softens you up for cattle mutilation, which is Bryan Danielson's favorite submission hold. And look how Danielson is grabbing at the elbow area and twisting back on the wrist. That's how you use leverage to your advantage. Danielson firmly in control, and I know you have to be enjoying this spot.
As long as Alex Shelley's in pain, I'm enjoying it. There's a little receipt from earlier.
Absolutely vicious, and good for a 2 count from referee Paul Turner.
I'm also glad that Alex Shelley doesn't have that stupid gear on where one pant leg's longer than the other. I think, didn't he get those made by Fast Eddie?
I don't know about that, but what I do know is Bryan Danielson is targeting that arm. And once Bryan Danielson targets a body part, that is bad news for his opponent, as Alex Shelley has to find a way out, perhaps go to the neck. He was working on the neck earlier. It has been softened up, and his only chance right now might be to attack that neck of Bryan Danielson.
Overhand wrist lock, very basic maneuver. Crowd behind Bryan Danielson the whole way. Pick a winner for me, Bauer.
Right now, Bryan Danielson looks like he's in the driver's seat as he's got cattle mutilation. Yes, he has it hooked in. He's got it. Alex Shelley's got to. He reaches the ropes. And he had to get out of it in a hurry, and he did. Bryan Danielson, though, he is absolutely dominating. This is like what we saw in the early going of his 75-minute match against Austin Aries. Perhaps we're going to see another long one here.
Crowd's ready for it. You got a superplex attempt by Danielson, crossbody by Alex Shelley.
2 count. Danielson turns it over, though. Another 2 count. Oh, Shelley just barely getting the shoulders up. That was 2 9/10.
He's shaking out that arm. He's trying to get more blood flowing into that arm. Right back on the arm, right back on the wings of Alex Shelley, if you will. Bryan Danielson, tenacious.
He is pulling back. That hurts the arm as well as the shoulders. Again, softening up Alex Shelley for cattle mutilation. Danielson, he wants that world title shot. This is a man that put ROH on the map starting on the very first show. This is that roaring forearm, but gets nailed with a super kick. Alex Shelley has to follow up in a hurry.
I would love for Dragon to put Shelley on the shelf.
I know you would, CM.
Just like they put Cabana on the shelf. You know, the only thing sweeter would be is if I got to put Alex Shelley on the shelf.
Colt Cabana, he's out, no telling how long, perhaps a couple of months with an injured shoulder. And a dragon screw by Shelley. And he connects with that kick. Danielson kind of blocked it, but still hit nonetheless.
Shelley now going after the injured leg. Dragon still obviously wants to target that injured arm.
And he's not able to get Dragon up with that suplex because of that injured arm.
Another suplex attempt. Oh, knee delivered by Bryan Danielson. Cattle mutilation attempt right now. Shelley makes it to the ropes one more time. I like the way Daniels uses the ref's count. Sleeper.
Oh, but Shelley catches him in a stunner. For a 2 count.
Innovative maneuver by Alex Shelley, but I hate to give him any credit whatsoever. I'm trying to be non-partial here.
The crowd now showing their appreciation of both men. They're absolutely glued to the action in the ring. And there's that airplane spin. You felt this one, CM Punk. That definitely has to get you dizzy. Definitely makes you lose your bearings in that ring.
I talked to Bryan about this. Bryan's goal is to get somebody to throw up doing that.
He might end up throwing himself as he sat down on Shelley for a 2 count. And you know what's coming up next. He loves to go for that diving headbutt. And he scores right on the arm of Alex Shelley. Oh, another 2 count.
Vintage American Dragon right there. Headbutt off the top. He's going to follow it up with more arm work. He's got to go for that submission hold one more time. Brutal European uppercuts.
He might be going for a knockout with those. That's what split open the chin of Austin Aries. That's survival of the fittest. Shell shock by Shelley. He's pinned people in this before. Cover. Danielson kicks out, but that also softens up the neck for the Border City stretch. And Shelley has it cinched in towards the middle of the ring. Danielson not close to the ropes. This could be a tap right here. Will Bryan Danielson tap to the Border City stretch, wrenching at that injured neck.
He's making it to the ropes.
He's sliding over, and there it is. Danielson escapes.
Not wise of Shelley releasing that hold right away. He had till 5. Ooh!
Shelley has to go back to the neck, and he does just that. If I'm Alex Shelley, I'm trying to reapply that Border City stretch as quick as I can.
In the middle of the ring, immediately. Another suplex attempt by Shelley.
He's crossing the legs this time. And once again, that arm keeps Shelley from getting Dragon up. Whoa! That could knock you out right there.
Dragon's getting fired up. Looks like he's hooking it again. Cattle mutilation time.
And he's got it cinched. Oh, Shelley turns it over once again. And he's got the Border City stretch. He's got it cinched in. Alex Shelley could be getting Bryan Danielson's world title shot right here, right now, if Danielson taps or passes out from the pain. Shelley working on that injured neck. Danielson right in the middle of the ring, trying to, yes, he gets up. Oh, high impact by Bryan Danielson with that snap suplex.
Cattle mutilation, Bauer.
He's got a hook in the middle of the ring. Shelley's got no place to go. And that's it, he tapped.
I love it.
Shelley gives up. What a win for Bryan Danielson. When's he going to get that world title shot?